spinning records, listen to those pop rock lectures. Why don't we jump into these games if I know I'm gonna lose? We've been walking, talking about what you can say to me, 'cause you don't want me around no more. I'm not the one for you, and I can't be the one who says that I love you more than you will ever know. We've been walking, talking about what you can say to me, 'cause you don't want me around no more. 'Cause I'm not the one for you. I can't be the one who says that I love you more than you will ever know. More than you will ever know.
All right, what do you say we get fired up here, huh? A little bit of cowboy punk playing us in. Gonna watch a little bit of TV. Hopefully, I make you laugh, relax, and do a little hoedown. This is Sloppy Folk, everybody. Some Pennsylvania punk rock. This is an experiment to see if I can play some cool music besides the lame stuff that they have for the DMCA stuff on Twitch. Welcome to the show.
Portland is a long way from LA.
Welcome in, everybody.
From Atlanta, Fulton County.
We're storming the Capitol. It's a revolution.
What color I see, then you maintain the status.
December 7th, 9th.
I'm gonna question a psychopath.
I got named.
Hey, everybody, welcome in to the podcast. Or is this a stream officially? Am I a streamer officially? I don't know, but welcome in. This is Keith Paesel. We're going to be watching a little bit of television, making fun of ourselves and the world, hopefully for 2 hours. I don't know, maybe longer. But we're here usually every Thursday. A lot of usuallys in the intro. I need certainties, right? We need certainties in this world. But welcome in. We'll bring down the intro song. I'm just thinking out my thoughts here.
Titans on the move.
A little bit of Scott Van Pelt covering the game that just happened on Amazon. I mean, Amazon has just been real bad with these stinkers. You know, I kind of feel bad for Jeff Bezos, but I don't. It's nice that, you know, he put billions into this, and it's been some shit games. This one got exciting at the end.
This is a free play. I think you could argue.
I wonder what kind of money Scott Van Pelt had on this. If you watch the Scott Van Pelt version of Sportscenter, everything is kind of like gambling based. You really get the sense that Scott owes someone a finger or two.
Throw the ball and let your rookie make.
Throw the ball, for Christ's sakes. My wife's going to divorce me. He just lets his personal life bleed in.
Titans. 4th and inches. Tannehill pretending he does. Oh, that sneaky Tannehill.
Thanks for the 2 livers. We got 2 live viewers.
And it looks like maybe they stop. No, they don't stop him. That guy's going to fall forward. Completion.
I got to say, the Titans blue helmets really fucking sold on me. I'm a fan of a white helmet. One of the few helmet colors that is not wholly represented in the NFL is the white helmet, and I feel like the Titans did their role.
This Titans defense has the pack backed up, and it's a quick 3 and out.
Man, Aaron Rodgers is just looking old and frustrated. Like, I feel like he's mimicking being, like, he's pretending to be mad at his teammates, but I think he's just upset at himself that he's not aging like Tom Brady. I mean, yeah, you do ayahuasca, but you don't have a Brazilian wife rubbing like Brazilian snake oils and doing, like, I heard she was doing voodoo with them before the games, like shaking fucking hollow bird bones over them and stuff. She's totally a witch. She's already banging some crypto hedge fund guy or something like that.
In College Park.
Her new boyfriend has a podcast that's so fucking of our times. At least I think he does. Ugh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's already with the kids in Costa Rica. You know, yeah. And then look how sunken in his cheeks are. She's probably pulling cotton out of a voodoo doll, and that's why his cheeks are sinking in, old Tom Brady.
Not be fun to get in his way. On a hot day, not so much either.
Eagles signing Ndamukong Suh. I mean, they're just fucking loading up that defensive line. How's Robert Quinn been doing out there? Maybe we could look at that later.
The Timo play back in the day. Hooper.
I do love the all-white pack unis. I gotta say that. I wish they would wear them more.
Welcome back, Randall.
It makes the yellow stripe pop more.
Gain at 28.
I mean, I know on the yellow pant it was green with the white on the side, but that green stripe with the yellow fucking colorway pops.
Pack moving the chains. Fun play design here. Somebody might be wide open. Guess who it is? It's Watson. He's the 2nd rookie in Packers history with multiple.
It's Watson.
Games. The other's Max McGee, the legend. Going for 2, they get it. Aaron Jones is in. It's a 3-point game. What kind of answer do the Titans have? Play action on
wide open.
7, wide open is Robert Woods. That's a game.
See, I can be calling Sportscenter.
Answer after Green Bay gets.
Virginia shooting victim walks for the first time. Mike Hollis was removed. Is this a recent? Oh yeah, this is recent, right? One of the Virginia football players, right? Virginia regular isn't where they had the big mass shooting, is it? No, that's Virginia Tech.
It's in Charlottesville where the pastor was killed
and they got ran over by the car. Yeah, it's not a libtard type of place.
Extend the drive. That's a big hit met by Chris Barnes. And
some quarterbacks love leading with that shoulder.
Rodgers.
Ooh, overthrown. That was the one. He gets. This is where he truly comes out. I'm not Tom. Ayahuasca is not Brazilian voodoo. If that's the lesson for this episode, then so be it.
Deep frustration.
Come on, brother. That was the receiver's fault. He blew his route.
3rd and 19, Pack. Rodgers is looking for who else? Watson. And he's just short of the...
Watson's been redeeming himself, though. Definitely been the Packers' best receiver, which is what you wanted to see if you were a Packer fan. You know, even though it is a positive, I think you want your big draft pick to be the one that you're resting your shoulders on. It's cool that Alan Lazard and all these tertiary guys are producing, but I feel like if that becomes your number 1 and 2 options, then you're just like, well, what the fuck happened with Watson? But they still lost.
The division leaders, most
tough place for Green Bay right now. They're not used to being in this spot. bunch of losers up there. Not Titletown.
Blitzed all night. He was exceptional.
Titletown is Detroit, by the way. That's Hockey Town in Titletown. It's the only Titletown I'll acknowledge.
Over 200
And I'm a Blackhawks fan. That's coming from a Blackhawk fan.
for Tennessee. Tim Hasselback typically with us on Sunday.
Typically with us, but he's praying right now with his wife Elizabeth. They're on Trump's. They're probably fucking stumping for Trumping.
Not like this is on the Packers defense that they somehow.
Look at that shadow. Elizabeth is probably just fucking burning it at both ends now that the Donald announced.
Well, I think there's two things, Scott, that stick out. Is one, there weren't any negative plays.
Man, look how many teams he played for. That's a journeyman right there. Got a Rhine Fire helmet back there. Some classic NFL Europe.
Henry, and he was averaging less than...
Hey, James is here.
When you stay on schedules and offense. So, that to me is the biggest key because the Titans know who they are.
Welcome to the show. If you noticed, Bailey, I got the chat on the screen now. It disappears, so people are going to know who you are and what you say. Everybody, it's going to I got the chat on the screen. I'm becoming more Twitch regular here.
Yeah.
You guys like the bells and whistles.
In that highlight, we had that 1 second and 7, and as we're watching,
I love if they would cut back and Van Pelt's just wearing the helmet on his desk.
Wide open. So obviously you're selling out to try to.
I do gotta say, Scott Van Pelt, and this has nothing to do with his talent, great bald head logo situation going on. Like, his head and the headphones is perfect for his fucking logo. Yeah, go Titans. I mean, you had Bailey in the chat here. I am Lobster Man. That's James Bailey, president of the chat. He had the Titans defense in fantasy, so hopefully that went well. Did they get any picks or fumbles for you?
So you're going to commit to stopping him and say, hey, look, let's let Ryan Tannehill make plays. And I would say this, but for the interception.
Ooh, but for, real poetic. But for the interception, I do declare the Packers are on a roll.
At home, and everyone spends the whole offseason going, they stink, blah.
15, that's pretty good. I mean, they start out with 20, so that's -5. That's why you got to start them at 10, so 15 seems like a positive. Let's see what Aaron Jones got me.
There are sexier teams. There's certain.
Ooh, sexy. Bitten spicy for fucking ESPN. A block kick, that's good. That's got to excite you after a bunch of nothing for the game.
Viewed the way they're viewed nationally, locally. And I think a lot of it...
So he played for Florida. Well, no, that's Boston College up in the corner. He played for the Giants. 2 Giants helmets. He played for some NFL Europe team.
About that.
Tim Hasselbeck, I think, played for the... Played for the Packers, too.
You said it. They were the 1 seed a year ago. They're a team that... Look,
Titans are a sleeper. Last year they had that big splash in the regular season, but now I feel like the kind of quote-unquote disappointment of their regular season... It's kind of where you want to be. They're going to be surprising some people. 13.2 points, not what I have liked. But I still, right now, have a 55% chance of winning.
One quick thought. We're going to get some sound and some perspective from the winning side here in just a moment. As I look at their schedule, I would include, even though the Packers, look, it's Green Bay and Lambeau. I include this in the tougher game.
They were booing the shit out of them in Lambeau. That is just a crew that is not used to losing. I mean, a lot of these people... The old heads, sure, but a lot of these people don't remember the dog days 1980s of the Packers. They're used to Brett Favre and quality, and, this is going to be a tough 5 years. That's what I will say as a Bears fan, is the excitement of them finally figuring their shit out. By the way, I firmly believe the Bears have spread their stupid around the league. They're finally figuring out how to run an organization, and they're spreading all their dumb everywhere, to the Colts, to the Packers not making a move, the Colts hiring Saturday, although they won. But they should be bad. Like, the Bears are just, I get mocked for being a Bears fan because they're bad. So now that they're good, it's just so relieving. But Packers fans, you've been good for the last 27 years. You don't know the downs of, like, when your season's so bad, you just want, if you can beat the Buccaneers once, that's your Super Bowl. You can edge out Robert Smith's Vikings once in 1996. That's your Super Bowl. I'll therapize through you Packer fans through all of this. You guys got a tough road aho, and I think Colin Cahert is right. It's because you guys don't have an owner. There's no one to, like, dole out any cash. the town owns the team. Like, remember the Titans.
It's how we like it, though. We feel like we're the most physical team in the league. We came out here.
The Amazon crew was not ready for this cold. They really should have put them up in a suite for this. You know, you got to earn your way up into the second tier. The big football shows, they're like not on the field when the weather gets crispy, but they had these poor guys out there, fucking Fitzpatrick, fucking jonesing for Norcan out there.
You got to think about it on the road in a hostile environment. They put up 400 total yards. And I know all the talk has been about TD, play calling, and all this other BS. Our passing game was on fire tonight.
All this other bull hockey.
Big shout out to those guys, man. Those guys.
Just a bunch of bull hockey. That'd be great if he's like everyone and talks like a Christian. We're just out here raising a little Cain.
In general, if you can avoid it. They didn't. They didn't.
6% chance to make the playoffs. Man, that'll be some Aaron Rodgers bullshit to pull them out of the playoffs. I won't be happy about it. I'm glad I'm out of the era where Aaron Rodgers would come into the game and you'd be like, oh God, here we go. Like in 2018, Khalil Mack knocked Aaron Rodgers out of the game, blew out his knee. I was hoping, okay, he's done for the year. We were up like, I think it was like 21-3. Rodgers comes out of the blue tent. My buddy looks at me and he goes, you know what's about to happen, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, he's going to win the game. I'm glad I think we're out of that era where he can't single-handedly swing the game for the Pack anymore.
At a level that's just making everybody around him significantly better, then they're just okay. And
see, I think he was just fucking curtailing with my point there where he's saying he can't elevate around him anymore. He's lost that. And I think that's what Brady has still, maybe. Maybe that was the Brazilian voodoo, the voodoo.
The last two games, certainly Watson showed. He's got 5 touchdowns.
That'd be great if fucking Giselle just calls up possessed in a demon voice calling plays over the headphones. They're like, what the fuck is going on?
Guys running wide open.
Fucking Giselle's all about Joe Boo.
I don't get that.
yeah.
I don't want to offend any. I don't want to get True Jordy out of Twitch here.
It's out of my head right now. Scott, I just remember all last year sitting on that desk with you saying, can you believe this throw? Like there literally is about 3 inches of margin for error for him to make this throw, and he's making that throw. And then we see him tonight with guys literally as open as you can get in the National Football.
Look at there, looking all sad. Every time I see his sad face, I think of the fucking song Gives You Hell by American Rejects. With this sad, sad look that you wear so well. Fucking cry. Cry. He misses Shailene.
He's made throws that people...
Wonder who she's off eating dirt with.
Their heads, and there's just no way you can make throws.
Aaron knows. Aaron's fucking stalking her gram. Getting burners, commenting, subtweeting about her.
4-7. More to talk about with you about this.
It'd be funny if on Tuesday he goes on Pat McAfee's show and just like, can I talk to you about love, Pat?
We'll wait.
Ooh, we got Aaron Rodgers at the podium.
At some point, Aaron Rodgers here in the next half hour. Hopefully, we'll be sharing his thoughts on the game, and we will share those with you.
We will share them with you, and we'll share them, with each other. Solid logo.
I was having challenges with my old bank.
Yeah, how about this, Justin Herbert? Why don't you get SoFi to fucking link up to Zelle so I can shoot people cash on the quick? Really makes it hard for me to borrow money from people. No, I'm just kidding. See what else we got. What do we got here on ESPN 2?
Champion and millionaire in the same year.
These men sniff each other's feet professionally.
The most grueling test
Mixed
in MMA.
martial arts.
4 fights in 8 months. This year, 12 competitors fought their way to the November 25th PFL World Championship, where fans will see 6 title fights in one night. Each finalist earned their chance to fight.
Ooh, I love a slow motion fucking...
A climb filled with setbacks and breakthroughs.
And Ndamukong Suh to the Eagles. I wonder if that's because Quinn isn't producing or if they're just trying to stack up. Maybe they see the Cowboys nipping at their heels.
Think outside the oven and get thanks grilling.
Look at that. You know when you're getting a Southern California commercial, that looks like a goddamn Azteca temple, that Ace Hardware.
Traeger, with free assembly and delivery on all grills $3.99 and up.
Helpful hardware, folks. Ace should just fucking superimpose 90s John Madden into their new commercials. Same quality and everything. Just a standard definition John Madden taking you through a high def Ace Hardware. because it's the place.
Not that far. We're dangerous.
The Ace Hardware in my town not only had a John Madden cutout, but it was a John Madden Tinactin cutout. It was all kinds of John Madden ad revenue happening. Yeah, I always liked wrestling over UFC too. And I mean, it shows because how over this last UFC fight, Adesanya lost. And it was a great fight, but everybody's kind of like, oh man, like they're kind of disappointed and that's Vince McMahon's point. You know, if this was professional wrestling, he wouldn't have lost. That's like that kind of excitement when people are really behind a champion. That was so great about Conor McGregor is he legitimately was the champion for a long time. And Anderson Silva was champion for like 9 years. That's the excitement, that kind of title run you get behind. But when it's not fixed, anything can literally happen. And sometimes that thing that happens is just like, God damn it. Now we got this random 7-1 guy as champion, but I think people like him. But it's all cyclical. You'll love him if he has the title for 3 years. He'll be the next whoever the fuck he beat, Adesanya. But that one Izzy dude went on Joe Rogan. That's why people were hype about him. He was a part of the Rogan fist shot him to the top.
No matter what you call it, don't forget the chips.
Goddamn right you still have an Ace Hardware in your small town. Everybody should. There's an Ace Hardware around the corner from us. I mean, you gotta dodge some MS-13, but you know, four live viewers now from 5. You'll regret it. You'll be back.
Play, eat, play. Dave & Buster's Eat and Play combo is back. Get an entree and a game card starting at $19.99.
Got a lot of fun news. It's not just going to be us staring at the TV. Don't just stare at the TV. Do something constructive. Let's see what the tweeter's saying about this game, brother.
Titans go into Lambeau Field on a very cold Thursday night, and they dial up a little bit of all of what they do. Lean on Henry. Tannehill throws for a couple of touchdown passes.
Tannehill? Was that on purpose?
And that defense is able to stop a number of fourth downs from the pass.
Messing up. Those bookies are getting to him. Oh, fixing the camera.
That's it's indicative of who we are.
We got Mike Vrabel live.
A lot of this game was one.
Mike Vrabel looks like the man that appreciates a fresh haircut. He looks like he smells like the blue shit they put on your neck at all times.
Prepared early on Monday. We went in there on 12:30 on Monday. And
all I'm thinking about right now is making a balanced breakfast for my children.
And continue to invest
I see
time
Punk trending.
In a short week.
He's coming back. Wrestling World convinced CM Punk will return to AEW following a reference during Jon Moxley's segment on Dynamite. I don't know about that, guys, because let me see if I could find this. MJF cut a promo after Dynamite, putting over Tony Khan, and I think subliminally shitting on CM Punk here. Let's see if we can get some good audio on this here. Oh, I still got some music playing. I'll kill that. Here we go. This was so Dynamite yesterday. AEW Dynamite ended with a promo between Jon Moxley and MJF, and I gotta be honest with you, it wasn't the best promo on Moxley's end. He flubbed some words. Really can tell not having a vacation for the last 2 years is getting to him. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate. Just off AA, new kid. But MJF cuts this promo, putting over Tony Khan, and I think shitting on Punk.
A lot of bullshit has gone on. A lot of bullshit has gone on. A lot of bullshit. We all know it. However, let me make something crystal clear. Me and you, we've been at odds once or twice. I'm not going to stand here and pretend that's not.
He's talking to Tony right now, saying we've been at odds.
That I've been seeing lately.
Hey, Aponte's here.
Everybody make some noise if you're a fan of professional wrestling.
No, we'll get into that.
if you had the opportunity to bring your love of professional wrestling out to the world and create an alternative, would you do it? This man,
MJF is Jack, by the way.
busts his ass week in, week out to give not just you, but to give all the boys in the back an opportunity to show the world how much we love professional wrestling.
Larry says MJF gives her "I was never hugged as a child" vibes. No, he grew up Jewish on Long Island. He was very hugged. He was hugged and bar mitzvahed. He did great. He's totally jacked, and this is just so. This promo, not only is he putting over. Let me see if he said. So he's putting over Tony right here. He's gonna say this wouldn't be like possible unless it's Tony fucking Khan, and this is big. Been lurking, just bad timing on live. I love that there's fucking shit going on in the chat here. I figured you were watching on YouTube. I'm putting them up on YouTube now. But here, he's about to reference Punk here. He says, you know, he's going to talk about everything he appreciates about Tony and then talk about what he doesn't appreciate.
All the boys in the back an opportunity to show the world how much we love professional wrestling.
Totally out of kayfabe right here for MJF. I think this is Maxwell Jacob Freeman cutting a promo, because this was a shitty crowd in Connecticut. Connecticut's just a not charismatic place. It's just all highway, just the most Caucasian highway you could see. So the crowd wasn't hot. So he was trying to hype people up because the fucking show went off the air like a wet fart. So I think he was just trying to hype people up and sell some pay-per-views for Saturday. But here we go.
I damn sure don't take lightly is somebody coming in to my company, dropping trout and taking a dump. That shit ain't happening anymore.
That is a direct reference to CM Punk. Someone coming into my company, dropping trout and taking a shit. I think that's a reference to the quote-unquote brawl out press conference. So I think to this guy who says CM Punk is coming back after a Moxley drop, they're referencing CM Punk, but it ain't because he's coming back. It's because they're finally allowed to say this guy was a piece of shit on TV without saying it.
For more than 70,000 people.
But back to football here.
If you're Cleveland and you're thinking you might get that offense in some dodgy weather, now you go inside and it could be a track meet. Super duper. I'm just fascinated to see how many of the Bills Mafia make their way to Detroit for this one. With a Thanksgiving game on the backside, I just envision a caravan punting on the holiday entirely and setting up shop in Detroit for a week. There's nobody like the Bills Mafia. Meanwhile, there's apparently a carnival inside at the moment on Ford Field. We need to move the Ferris wheel.
Sorry, I'm resizing a window here.
Could we move? That's according to Tony Grossi, by the way, ESPN Cleveland. We have a carnival.
All right, what do we say we get a channel surf here? Aponte brought up the death of this Hogan's Hero guy. So we'll see if we can find it.
I'm saying, if it's going to be a weather game and you're Cleveland, you got to be...
See if Hogan's is on.
Azul, 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 falla, se queda corta. Alejandra, derriba.
Ah, no, in an hour or two.
Time rate lock. That's what sold me.
Ooh, let's get some TV League stuff going on here. Do you guys want to read a little TV League standings?
Together when something big happens.
Like when Sienna kissed Doug.
Come on! We've known each other 500 years, and you've never once apologized.
Norseman, not apology. Apology for children and Danes.
Whatever. Enjoy watching by yourself?
Well, we'll enjoy. Temperature's up to 90 degrees. It is getting hot in there.
So I'm thinking once the B&B is open, this will be a great space for like an afternoon.
So here we go. We got the new TV League standings up here.
Room for a Sazerac right now. Oh, it's kind of overwhelming.
I did go in and put in the British TV shows. So we got Coronation Street, Strictly Come Dancing, which is Britain's version of Dancing with the Stars. That's up in number 27 now. 259 points, firing up. I'll tell you what the big scores are. So Strictly Come Dancing had 259 points. The Great British Bake Off came in at 123. Now, these were so high because this is like 2 months worth of ratings that I backtracked here. So Strictly Come Dancing, their dance is sponsored by Heisler, fictional beer brand. Unwilling sponsors. I'm gonna try and get Heisler stickers to put over everything here. Yellowstone came in at 90 points. Now we're starting to get into the for real points. 90 points via the Flix Patrol lists. House of the Dragon, 55 points. Game of Thrones, Shark Tank, Young Sheldon, 48 Hours, Manifest, FBI The Voice, and or FBI all took 50 points. The Voice took 61 over its 2 nights, Monday and Tuesday. And then Coronation Street scoring 40 points. Let's get into the top 20 here. Got some fucking bright eyes for this Amazon commercial. Try and get the fucking the young emos to participate in Black Friday. It's Black Friday. It's dark. It's like fucking My Chemical Romance.
And that sunrise something. I honestly feel that way about Jimmy Dean.
I honestly feel that way about everything. So Rick and Morty is still reigning supreme at number 1 here, 1,278. It didn't increase like it has been, but it did gain some points. I think it took 3rd place. Yeah, the new season, I think it's that new season bump. So the new season aired on Paramount and Paramount Plus. So you got that catch-up bump. People needed to catch up with the new season. People are finally starting to recognize. I feel like it's got like a conservative wire edge to it because it's not very critically acclaimed, and even libs like the show. I guess they're saying it's got a right-wing edge to it, but it doesn't. Just it takes place, you know, in the mountains, and like they're anti-government, but I don't know if that's necessarily right-wing. It's cool to be anti-government. It's cool to be anti-everything but people, to be quite honest with you. I'm all for it. House of the Dragon, or Game of Thrones 889 and House of the Dragon 870. I feel like these two shows are tied at the hip. Rick and Morty will fall off the top spot, but it's still going to take a while. It's going to take a good dose of Game of Thrones and House of Dragon. Grey's Anatomy is starting to fall off a little bit. They just went into the mid-season finale. Didn't pump like I thought it would. I thought it would be into the thousands by now. But they're there at number 4. Yellowstone number 5, I would imagine that'll climb up more and more. It'll probably get in the Nielsen's as far as watch minutes. And definitely in the popularity rankings as far as the streaming services. Then 6, Better Call Saul, NCIS. These are all kind of unchanged. 6 through 20. Everything kind of just moved up 1 down. But the big thing were these British shows, Strictly Come Dancing. So because of that, we got new additions to the Broadcasters Championship here. Paramount and Disney went back and forth. Paramount and Disney are really separating themselves from the pack here. Paramount got 7,308 points combined. Disney 7,002 points combined. So they've just been going back and forth. Warner and Comcast lagging behind at 3850 and 3267 respectively. Then we got Amazon at 2360, Netflix at 1510, and then AMC 703, BBC 425, and then we have this ITV PLC at 83 points, and then Channel 4 Television Corporation at 123. That is solely Great British Bake Off. So those are the standings for now. I would like to take you through this week's Flix Patrol.
Morgan and Morgan.
Whichever way the day is trending, the sweeter the McCafe, the sweeter the everything. From creamy smoothies to chocolatey frappes to
Who the fuck really gets McCafes? I mean, I know that's what they call everything, but I used to work with someone who called their coffee a McCafe, and I wanted to drive a fucking knife through their skull.
Tonight.
I would describe it as a mix between tennis and ping pong.
Rackets are smaller. The ball is wiffle. Pickleball is like if tennis and badminton were in a long-term loving relationship, but the spark was gone, and they said, hey, why don't we invite ping pong into the mix one night to see how that goes.
Pickled. Next on.
So here we are with the top 10 Flicks Patrol list for this week. So it looks like The Crown is going to take the top spot, and Manifest is going to bump down to number 2. Manifest, I think a new season started, so Manifest is officially like a Netflix show now. Yeah, Netflix is bottom. They just don't have as many shows. Last season they had more shows get into this top 10. I think Amazon and these Paramount shows are really getting their feet. Amazon Prime was always one of the bastard streaming services. People liked it. It was always the one where like, I like Amazon, but you kind of felt like an Android user using Amazon. Like, oh, I watch Amazon Prime. People are like, what? Treated you like one of those green bubble motherfuckers. And then we have Warrior Nun coming number 3 here. What the fuck is this show? Fantasy Demons. I mean, I think we got to see what the fuck this show's all about. Goddamn right, I want to search the web for this. Watch Warrior Nun. Absolutely, I'll watch that. Oh, do I gotta log in to see the trailer? Here we go. Like, is Warrior Nun like Flying Nun, except for more badass? Anyone remember the Flying Nun? Aponte probably remembers the Flying Nun.
The FBC gaining ground. Adriel freed. I need to make this right.
She looks like she's wearing the cage that they put on when they're taking a cast of your teeth at the dentist. I would always gag when they did that. Got that pink shit all crammed up in your gums.
An angel walks the earth.
Adriel is real. He's divine and hell belongs to him.
I'll tell him to come and get it.
I mean, at this point, everything's just Marvel, right?
Samaritans could use your help.
The Samaritans?
We're a decentralized cadre to expose the firstborn children in a scam religion.
So like a book club? Where are you?
This is kind of a more badass fucking, what's that fucking Gerard Way show that's on Netflix? Fucking Umbrella. This is like the Umbrella Academy, but with nuns. Flying Nun was with fucking Sally Field. It was just coming off the Gidget era. She wasn't as hot as she was in Gidget, but she's just this, she goes into a monastery, and I don't know if she has the power to fly, or if it's because her nun suit is so buoyant, but she does fly. Like a flying squirrel, not total flight, but like the wind picks her up and she kind of flies like a kite, like a Sally Field kite.
Yeah. I've sworn to only say it to one person.
We'll do a Flying Nun trailer after this.
The first Warrior Nun managed to imprison 8.
It's fucking got some straight Daft Punk as the soundtrack.
But what has been kept secret is that she used a specific weapon.
I mean, I don't get the sense that she's a nun at all. Does she not speak?
What weapon?
I believe it is your fate.
That's the key. That's a key sound effect for any action show that when it sounds like the sound is being pulled. That means some fucking Matrix shit's about to happen, dog.
To join forces with him.
I am here. I am everywhere.
What the hell?
Adriel is God's avatar on Earth, and you are his enemy. Blasphemy!
Time to take back what is mine.
No one in history has ever defeated Adriel and lived.
I feel like these Netflix shows are just always randomly in, like, now we're in Tokyo, now we're in Budapest, now we're in Sweden. They just want to, like, use their money. All right, we get it. They're badass nuns. Let's do Flying Nun. I'll show you guys the Flying Nun. A little bit of ghosts, a little bit of audio for ghosts until I find the flying nun here.
Laura.
You came.
Here, we'll watch some promo, but what's good about the flying nun is this was from an era where all the TV shows in the intro song, it would tell you what the fuck they were about.
A very special season is coming on ABC.
This is the Convent Santanco in Puerto Rico. The gusty trade winds that...
ABC.
This is the Convent Santanco.
Terrible audio, I apologize.
The gusty trade winds that swirl around...
But yeah, it was all fucking very fucking 1500s Mexico.
A new novice from America. These lively breezes came as a bit of a shock. However, Sister Bertreel was as much of a shock to some of us. She was 90 pounds of young ideas, bounce, energy, and charm.
90 pounds, Jesus Christ. Give this fucking bitch some food.
Applying some rather unusual talents. Until one day she displayed the most remarkable talent of all. Good grief!
It's a talent. You can't be different. Just call it a talent, dear. They'll think you're a freak.
Sally?
Yeah, she just takes flight randomly.
Flying Nun. Watch for her in color.
And from when I was watching the show, we'll go watch the intro, but from my knowledge of the flying nun, the flying was never like utilized in any sort of fucking mechanical way. She just did it randomly. It's just something she did. So this is the intro for season 1, episode 2. See, she's just flying around like a kite. Sally Field was a heartthrob back in the day. One of those people that my dad probably wanted to marry her. Old Marge Redmond. What a handful. Why don't you not have hats that are perfectly like airplane wings? I love that was their science. Well, we have to give them wings on their head or else she can't mechanically fly. Look at that. Alejandro Rey. That's her, like, lover, not lover. And we got this fucking doughy fat broad. No, this was fucking primetime television, dog. Like, The Flying Nun, I think, was on, like, CBS or something like that. Let's see. What channel was this on? Yeah, The Flying Nun was on ABC from 1967 to 1970. I mean, it really was just the steam of Gidget. People were tuning in to see Sally Field be all adorable. It's so weird, like when I started watching Gidget on the reruns, my dad was like, oh yeah, Sally Field was like everyone's heartthrob, and I just know her as the mean mom from fucking Mrs. Doubtfire, the one that fucking chills all the fucking harshes everyone's mellow.
Doing here?
But yeah, look what we got into, a hole from Warrior Nun. And only the podium is scoring points now. It's just better for keeping the shows down, whittled down. So for HBO Max, top shows are Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, obviously. And then we got All American, CW's high school Friday Night Lights-ish type show, starring Taye Diggs. So welcome Taye Diggs to scoring your show some TV points. Winchester's just getting bumped out. Winchester scored points last week, but they just got bumped out of that podium spot. Fucking did a nice little chip block and got Dean Winchester out of the fucking third place spot.
She's hot and not my daughter. She checks every box.
What a tragedy you didn't reproduce.
This is that show goes. See, it's just you guys now. It's the original OGs.
Tensions are heating up. Back on. There's no
Go to Law and Order. Let's see what's going on Law and Order.
Tell it to the jury. You have to believe in the system. System's the thing that's trying to kill me.
A trans woman was murdered. Vic's covered in bite marks. There's been another assault.
I'm telling you, I was talking about it last time we watched Law and Order. Law and Order is going full lib and it's great. I love to see it. You got Ice-T being like, There's a lot of underrepresented people in our community, and we need to give them agency instead of planting drugs on them.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous.
We call those people gay and fat.
Dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Their names are Chris D'Elia and Brian Callen, and they're still doing sets at the Improv.
Are you my appendix?
Excuse me?
Because I want to take you out.
Oh, that's not nice. That's my drink.
Not anymore.
Okay.
I mean, are we going back in the day here? That's a Jerry curl if I ever saw one.
Sense of the law.
Where'd you get your law degree?
Is that a real Jufro? Do you know who Kanye West is?
You a hell of a 21st birthday.
Who told you it was my birthday?
What did I tell you? Hey. Oh, come on. What's the matter? What, did she spill your gin fizz?
Greg Grunberg. That guy's in every show. He was the pilot in Lost of the airplane. He's in Heroes.
Relax, kid, man.
He fucking hobnobs with all the alt comics in LA. Guarantee you he's done a set at the fucking, at the Largo at the Coronet.
I told you I wanted to keep my birthday low key.
Oh, come on. Turning 21 is not a low-key birthday. These guys watched you grow up. Come on, they just bought you a drink, that's all. Aiden!
Come on, Aiden. Let's get rolling. Can't walk out with those fucking bowling shoes. You better get your civvies back on, Greg.
I just wanted to celebrate with you.
By getting me laid.
What's wrong with that?
If I have to explain it to you, then you haven't been listening. I gotta go.
No, wait. Just give me...
He is in Star Wars, isn't he?
Fran Pammy's wedding in the trunk of my car.
Dad, my car is literally right here, and I didn't pick out that suit. You did.
Don't start with that.
You want me to wear it so bad?
Are you just leaving this bowling game?
Your suit?
That happens in La Brea. So maybe we'll cover that a little later. In the newest episode of La Brea, they have to make a moment. They get presented with two options. You can stay in 1988 or 10,000 BC. We can't go back to our regular time. And they're just like, all right, we're in 1988. We'll just stay here. And they're just like going to leave everyone in 10,000 BC by the fucking car building.
Okay, I figured that out.
Okay, listen, stop being a detective for 5 seconds.
Stop being a fucking detective for 5 seconds. I'm trying to do some prime SA here. Get back to, this is week 46 of the Flix Patrol popularity standings. Go to Disney Plus here. So Star Wars Andor is gonna retake its #1 spot. So Zootopia for the first part of the week here was #1. I think this is a new Disney Plus show based on the movie Zootopia. So Star Wars Andor looks like it's gonna come back up in the first place spot and take 25 points, followed by Zootopia and The Simpsons. Grey's Anatomy just bumping out here. The Zootopia show is fucking edging out our Grey's Anatomy. They do need a Land of the Lost La Brea crossover. Get a nice gadgety robot going. Maybe we'll put that on. Let's put La Brea on. Let's get fucking saucy in here. I'll let you guys see it. So this season has been wild, guys. And I don't know if you guys are actually watching the show as it airs, but usually when you establish that you can go back and forth through time and two of the characters are trapped in a different time period, it's really like a multiple season arc with figuring out how to go back there, calculating the risks. But within 3 episodes, they're just like, oh, our son's in 1988. We find him in this episode, and then in this episode, we have to make the decision to go back. Like, it's just so quick. They just move everything along so fucking quick. Here we go. Hell yeah, we'll watch this one. They'll give you a recap. No, I think Andor is just like a random show about like Mandalorians. I don't think it's tied to Mandalorian at all. You should watch Mandalorian, though. Here we go. This year's Super Bowl. All right, that's it. That's the finale. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to finish the rest of this bowl. But what I will do is throw on a little YouTube. We'll do some commercials from 1995. And then we still got a little bit of show here. Wouldn't you stop at a Cabela's or REI before going? But yeah, get some shit, load up. I mean, throw everything you can in that hole. Drive a whole RV into that fucker. All kinds of shit. Yeah, you're right. You should just go. I mean, you're never going back. Just go on a fucking spree. Bring the whole fucking LAPD there on a fucking high-speed chase and have them all drive in. Have a police force? All right. Here we go. Got it all fucking... Got the date all ready to go. Try and find a lengthy one here. Here, we'll do this one. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes here. I'm going to go finish this bowl.
Hey, Penny! What do they call these shoes
Love
anyway?
little Penny, dude.
Penny. So who you guys playing tonight anyway?
Minnesota.
Oh, Los Lobos! I guess you're going for the big numbers tonight, huh? Now I want you to work them inside, work them outside. I'm sitting triple-double here. Now, Penny, I want you to say hello to my man Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, Garnett. We went to high school together. Tell him little Penny from the science club says hello. Can you do that for a brother?
Welcome to Helen Freed's, your special occasion dress headquarters in beautiful downtown Sharon. When you want to look your very best, shop Helen Freed's first for the best selection of dresses for your school dances, holiday gatherings, weddings, or prom. Helen Freed's has over 500 dresses to choose from in every imaginable color and style, and sizes 2 to 26, starting as low as $79. When you want to look your very best, shop Helen Freed's first, your special occasion dress headquarters in Sharon for the best prices, service, and selection.
Pizza Works has done it again. The new Pick 2 deal is on now. For a limited time, choose any two of our three selected 12-inch pizzas for only $8.99. Choose from sausage, green pepper, or pepperoni. The Pick 2 deal, two 12-inch pizzas, $8.99. So make headlines with your family and call Pizza Works today.
My Saturn's 100,000 miles have been...
Part sports car, part tank. This car's made of amazing stuff. The one thing I could truly count on
the jungle roads of Guatemala.
Across the frozen expanse of Russia. The only real problems
I've encountered with my Saturn are... That'll be about it.
The reliable, dependable 1996 Saturn SL1. Say, how many kids can you cram into that Saturn?
Can a McDonald's McChicken sandwich take you by surprise? Can it help you win friends and influence people? Yes, with McDonald's 2 for 2. 2 tender McChicken sandwiches or 2 6-piece chicken McNuggets for just $2.
Anytime, anywhere, any place, you can enjoy one of TV's most popular game shows. Tiger's Electronic Jeopardy!
What's new? The new 1996 Honda Civic, redesigned for even greater style and performance. And you can find it at the Honda and Hyundai stores, starting at just $99.95. Or test drive a new 96 Honda Accord LX, with leases starting at just $259 a month. And if you're looking for a car that's sporty and economical, you can own a new Hyundai Accent for only $99 a month.
At the Honda and Hyundai store.
On Market Street in Boardman.
Let's be honest, we all care about how we look and feel. And with our fast-paced lifestyles, it's great to have a friend close by to help us. At Revco, health and beauty is our business. Besides our world-class pharmacy services, we offer much more. Our complete line of vitamins, cosmetics, and other personal care products. Everything to help you look and feel your best.
Revco, a friend for life.
With that kind of selection and convenience, why would you go anywhere else?
At Fabulous Goldstein's, you'll get the best betting deal in town. Buy at the absolute lowest prices guaranteed, plus you'll get it the next day. Guaranteed. Buy your Sealy and Posturepedic bedding today and get it tomorrow, or you get it free. And Goldstein's will even pick up your old bedding free. All that, and you can take advantage of our 30-day free home trial on all Posturepedic mattresses. For the best bedding offer available, get to Fabulous Goldstein's today. We guarantee the best values, next-day delivery, and your satisfaction. It's the only place to buy Sealy bedding.
High in the sky, there's a shining star. He knows hills is where the toys are. Riches come through when you follow the star, because hills is where the toys are.
Trust Hills to have an incredible selection of great toys at great prices, like the Play School Play Store and Flower Magic Mary.
Riches come through when you follow that star, because hills is where the toys.
Great 90s commercial jingle right here. By the way, did that kid not look like Jean-Benet Ramsey in that fucking ad? A young Jean-Benet. We're back, by the way. Ooh, I didn't mean to fade to black. All right, we're back.
Well, hello, Larry.
Can you see? I think I hit record on the back.
Sunfire.
Look at how fucking, dude, I missed the Sunfire. I wanted a Pontiac Sunfire so fucking bad when I was a kid. I mean, it really is just a red dot. It's not like affecting too much. There, it's gone.
96 Sunfires from
11,599 for a goddamn Pontiac Sunfire. You know they had to recall that car at some point.
In, and you can find a pic of the.
That's when you know I'm getting into the adult age, when I'm just marveling over here, just like, look at the price of that fucking Honda Civic, huh? They need to get back to that. Elon needs to sell a Tesla for 10 grand.
49 cents a pound. 14 pounds or larger,
Look
only
at that.
49 cents a pound. U.S. #1.
Elon does need to go. Look at that. They got a basket of taters.
Quality and big savings are always in season at Sparkle.
Look at how plentiful in 90s that is, with starving children in Africa. Oh, Ellen Pompeo leaving Grey's Anatomy. Huge fucking news here. We got to go to Twitter for this. Huge television news coming through the wire. Ellen Pompeo leaving Grey's Anatomy. Let's see what the fucking scuttlebutt is. Oh, man. As the series... I knew they were prepping new leads. I mean, I'm still saying they need to... They're keeping this show alive until Zola's gone. But with Meredith Grey gone, they're obviously not going to have her family. Where are the two sisters going to go? They're not going to have a fucking house to live. Just booting them to the curb. McDreamy's daughter or sister is going to be back on fucking drugs.
Every computer in stock, only from your computer headquarters, Sun Super Savings Center.
Who can give you the best deal on the best-selling trucks in America?
I mean, we gotta fucking
during Truck Month, save on two-wheel
switch
drive,
over to
four-wheel
this.
drive, extended cabs, Explorers, Broncos, and more. Lisa new night.
We'll keep it on. So TMZ breaking it. Now, she obviously finished this season, or did she not finish the second half? We had an iconic run. I mean, it was a run. It was iconic for a little bit. Can you call something that won't go away by any means necessary iconic? Look at that. It looks like she just got fucking caught farting in that picture. It wasn't me, I swear to God.
So apparently it was finale, and she's gonna come back in February for like a Meredith Leaves Seattle episode.
Oh, that was tonight?
Done.
Wow. So they're just fucking, they didn't even give these new ones. Look at that Instagram picture. All you need is love and clearly a lip job. That is the fucking corners of a lip job right there. Oh yeah. She's eternally grateful and humbled by the support and love and being the highest paid actress in television. I will now take my millions and invest in a series of Wendy's franchises.
Any kind of rebound.
I could be down for rebound.
2 days before my birthday.
Has been a lot of fire, moving.
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres dating Ellen Pompeo.
You just let us toast you.
She's the sugar to her spice. Look at fucking old Hunt outlasted Meredith Grey. Good for you. If I lay here, I am now the lead in the show. Big news. Let's see what the people are saying. Like in real life?
No, the show. And they've been going to a different university. She fell in love with in Boston. And so they're moving to Boston.
Zola's like 9. Why is she going to university? Oh, because she's going to be one of these Sheldon fuckers.
She's not 9.
They're going to make young Zola. Like young Sheldon.
She's not 9. Like, almost.
Yeah, but you don't go to college. She's going to fucking... It's too much pressure for Zola. Not my girl.
She's having panic attacks about her mom dying of Alzheimer's, so she's going to go research Alzheimer's as a child.
Jesus Christ. I'm saying there's going to be a spinoff. Zola's getting a spinoff. There's going to be a fucking... Absolutely. Zola Hauser. 100%. 100%.
It's over the middle across the 30.
With 4 rushers, that is going to help this defense.
3rd and 12.
All right, let's go back to TV history. I got some special cuts from 1995 television for you guys. Ooh, fucking YouTube making noises on intro. All right, let's go to my fucking libraries. To the libraries. 1995 on television. Let's go to the bottom. So PlayStation came out like a month ago. And I found this cool thing of a bunch of fucking PlayStation commercials. And it's got the Twisted Metal commercial with you, which used to scare the shit out of me. Look at this. Look at that clown. $1995 was a good year. The MTV Movie Awards were kicking. Kiss got back together in full makeup.
You better get them.
The Korn was fucking going down. Were you listening to Korn, Rob? What were you listening to in 1995? See, this is what drew me to the PlayStation. The PlayStation was like punk rock. Nintendo was for kids. It was very childish, and this always seemed like, you know, the mischief kids want fucking 16 Twisted Metal. Hell yeah. So PlayStation was for you. You were able to go get your own PlayStation. I had to beg for it for Christmas. One thing my dad came through on. Like, my dad was one of those dudes where, like, definitely wasn't rich. Lived in his mom's basement. But when I needed something really expensive, he bought me a Dino GT for Christmas. He bought me a PlayStation in 1995. He bought me a classical acoustic guitar. Yeah, I was listening to Soundgarden and Nirvana still, too.
Boy, the Bandicoot will come. I'm coming to get you, pal. Hi, how are you? Am I on the right street?
Isn't that fucking wild that Soundgarden and Nirvana is like classic rock now?
Really nice. Plumber boy, your time has come.
Oh, I missed this commercial. The guy driving around like Crash Bandicoot, like a crack addict.
Let's go. Come on.
See, PlayStation was all about going berserk. It made it seem like if you played it for too long, it was going to bore your eyes out of your skull and you were going to be all skeletized.
Colin McRae, born to race.
Those were a lot of the early PlayStation games. Snowboarding games, skateboarding games, rally racing games, mountain biking. Fucking, they had a badass destruction derby game that I used to fucking play for hours. Clear some of this cotton mouth.
I got this doing a 900 nose grab. Got this on a backflip mute in the pipe.
That dude was in the movie Orange County with Colin Hanks.
This one I got.
He played this guy until 2007.
That could have hurt.
I had a PlayStation sampler. Remember?
There's a new adventure.
Do you remember the samplers that they used to give out that had like 12 games in one, and you could play like one quarter of football? They had Cool Borders 1 on there. You could do one run down the hill on a ski or a snowboard, and I loved it. Those were my cheats. I would go to the fucking video game aisle, and I would look at the games, and then they always had the free samplers you could take, and that was for until my parents would actually shell out the $49.99 for these PlayStation games. That's how I played. Quarter by quarter, sampler by sampler.
Looking at me. What's wrong with these people?
Crash Bandicoot ruled. I dominated Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot 2 had this level where you had to race, and I got so good at that level that I just stopped playing the game and played that level, and I think a bunch of people did, because then the next year they just came out with Crash Bandicoot Racing.
You don't hunt them. They hunt you.
Oh, is this fucking Dino Crisis. I remember this shit.
Otto, that was some rain. Pleased with having one today. It just all went smoothly.
What is this, Bill Elliott's NASCAR?
Car bounced well and chose the right tires.
They all had Shell Shock Racing, fucking Tsunami Snowboarding. It was all cataclysmic titles. PlayStation was about to end the fucking world. Ooh, IndyCar.
It's a win!
Oh, no, that's Formula One, I think. Fun stuff, though. See what else we got here in 95. Let's go to this week 12. So it's week 12. I mean, November 17th, 95 is a Friday. But let's look to Sunday, because I don't think I'm going to see you guys for a week. So we got Jets versus Bills, the twilight of old fucking Kelly's career.
Lead the AFC East. Back in a moment with the kickoff. First to Greg Gumbel.
Yeah, Sega Genesis was dope. I missed the Sega Saturn. I remember I was a perfect age when I remember the Sega Saturn coming out, and then it just went away. And then the Dreamcast came out and really would have reigned supreme. The Sega Dreamcast would have been the best system, but you were able to burn the games. The eye in the system was like a burnable eye, and they didn't foresee that. So everyone I knew had like burned Dreamcast games, so they didn't make any sort of fucking
go-ahead score. The Pittsburgh Steelers in charge of this game late now at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, 42-31. In Cleveland, Green Bay adds to the Browns' woes, 31-20.
Look at Greg Gumbel. Hasn't aged a fucking minute, dude. I mean, he looked like that in 2018. Good for Greg. Bryant, on the other hand, has gone through many phases of fucking fat, suctioned, gray hair. What, Chicago or Texas?
Today, 24-10 was the final score. The Colts come up a winner.
Jim Harbaugh's Colts fucking laying it to Drew fucking Bledsoe's Patriots.
Did pretty well today. He rolls out and fires on the run to Floyd Turner here. 14-yard touchdown pass. Harbaugh, the NFL's highest rated.
Old Jim Hardball.
That's standing today. He had an outstanding.
My family was lamenting the fucking departure of Harbaugh still in this year.
Today, 31-6 over the Rams. The Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Giants today, 28-19. Tampa Bay over.
You had a Dreamcast? Oh, that's fun.
The Arizona Cardinals, 27-7.
Now they just have the emulator, so it doesn't even matter. If they get a PlayStation 2 emulator, that'll get me to buy another system. Because PlayStation 2 is the king system. Best games, best longevity, best graphics for what like the actual commercials look like. PlayStation 2 was the first system where the commercial graphics looked like the game.
Earlier today, while the Jets merely playing out the schedule at 2 up and 8 down in.
Look at that. I think Miami still had Shula in 1995. No, Jimmy Johnson was with them.
With Chris Collinsworth and.
Look at a young Collinsworth with those 90s rim stepdad glasses, looking like fucking Paul Tracy and shit.
I'm saying you did a great job designing them, Marv. I think you were terrific with that.
It's about time that I received some credit.
Look at those jackets. Look at that drip.
Today, though, from the
they look like they're the fucking starting point guards for the Milwaukee Bucks or the Phoenix Suns. Boomer, look at him. Look at that mask. That's a classic 90s face mask right there. Can fucking cook some French fries on that grill.
MacGyver the first time around didn't do much of a job today. It'll be Matt Willick trying to do a little bit better job, but for Boomer...
Oh, dude, PS2 was great. My PS2, it was during the era where my grandma had died, so we were taking care of my grandpa, and his nurse would come over, and I would just chill all day and play video games, go to school, come home, play fucking Madden 2005.
Concussion in recent weeks, so the starter today...
Throw 90 touchdowns, 95 touchdowns in one season with Ben Roethlisberger on all Madden.
Yes, it didn't work out very well in that ball game, and Matt Willick, we asked him whether or not he'd be talking any trash to Bruce Smith, and he said, no.
And Buffalo has had a surprising season, record of 7-3. They'd have to be considered one of the major...
Oh, for sure. Competition's always good for that. Xbox, yeah, for 100%.
For Jim Kelly, it has been a very satisfying campaign.
Madden's fallen off, dude. I don't think Madden's probably been good since Madden 2011, probably. I haven't touched a Madden game since Madden 11. One of I lived with a weed dealer, and one of his heroin addict friends stole my Madden. Haven't played it since. I'm a football manager guy, and I think tonight I'm going to play a little fucking Cyberpunk 2077. Not on Twitch. I don't play video games on Twitch. All these other fucking losers playing Ragnarok right now. God of War. You played it's just like the first one.
Undergoing surgery for prostate cancer. Surgery that...
First run, they all in their titles. God of War, first run, no mods, on easy.
Made it back. Buffalo winning the...
Look at that Jets logo. I fucking love that green Dennis Bird Jets fucking logo. This isn't quite the 1-in-15 Jets. I think we got a rookie Wayne Krebet on the field right here. Let's see what the fucking Buffalo's bringing on the offense. Andre Reed. We probably got a young Andre Reed here.
Chad Cascadden involved on the stop. A look at the Buffalo offensive line. Fina, the rookie Brown, Hull, Ostrowski, and Parker. Parker making it back in.
Never heard of any of these guys. Thurman, Jim.
Thurman Thomas and the K-Gun, the lone deep.
Lonnie Johnson.
Receivers, as Chris mentioned, Bill Brooks has been on a run. Bill Brooks with 7.
I got Cyberpunk on PC. It's funny that I don't play it as much because I have the PC version, and that version didn't have any bugs, so I could have been fucking clean sailing. I almost have to just restart it. It's been like months since I've played it, so I almost don't know what the fuck is going on. But I'm still early on in it.
Howard, Brock, and
you got stock in Cyberpunk. You need to get stock in this artificial meat, dog. They approved it. The FDA approved lab-grown meat. The game's about to change.
And Lewis with the extra DBs. Here's Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas making it back last week.
Look how clean that green is. It's not the Kelly green of the Eagles. I get impressed with how the shades of green can really distinct themselves. Maybe that's just a drugged out thought, but I loved Thurman Thomas's face mask. That cross, just fucking 2 across, 1 down, like a prayer.
It is a 3rd and 2 at the 35. We are just underway. Kelly off the roll. Good pressure. Faced by Eric Howard. The pass intended for the touchdown.
Dude, Jim Kelly had throat cancer. He talks all weird now and shit. Oh, hell yeah, Tecmo Bowl. I didn't play Tecmo Bowl at the time, but I do remember in like the mid to late 2000s, in the Madden era, when I was fucking throwing dimes with Roethlisberger on all Madden, we had Tecmo Super Bowl for Super Nintendo, and we were just spending all day smoking weed, creating players, and we got it to where every team in the NFL on Tecmo Super Bowl had our created players in it, and we were just running dynasties and just simulating seasons. Like, none of us actually played any games. It was our first dive into like the sim manager type of game. That was what we loved doing. My friend group over anything video game wise. Over playing it, we liked loading up the game with created players and then just simulating all the games and seeing all the stats they would accrue and letting nature take its course. That's what Madden at the later years was good for, that they went away from. is you could upload college players that you created in the NCAA game, and you like save that draft class, and you put it into Madden, and you let them fucking get their wings and fly.
Short pickup by Adrian Morrell. Rice punt on the tackle. Hanson, Washington, and Smith up front. The front three has played.
Yeah, the first season mode was great. I remember the fucking introduction of franchise mode. Holy fuck. Gee, can I do 40 straight seasons? I remember when I cashed out franchise mode. The first time I ever played, I think it was like it was for a SmackDown game. It was the PS1 version of SmackDown. And you could do like a continuous calendar, a wrestling calendar. And I remember we were in like 21:35 and the game just stopped. It froze. And I was like, dude, I think we got to the end of it. I think we broke SmackDown.
Before the game.
I had so much with PlayStation 1 is such a big part of my life. I remember for game day 1998, PlayStation 1, my best friend to this day, Wesley, we were doing a duo season mode with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He traded Warren Sapp, and I legit open palm slapped him in the face, and it was the one time he like walked home. I had to like call him and tell him to come back. It like really was a rift in our friendship for a few hours because he traded Warren Sapp for draft picks. Look at that guy go. Look at the pad level just going down. Looks like he's got fucking 2 encyclopedias on his shoulders. That is a man ready to get brain impact.
A massive hole off to the left side. Got Matt Willig up working against the strong safety, Henry Jones.
Let's see what's going on. I got another game here. This is Dallas at Oakland from the same week.
It is something special. The Oakland Coliseum, the home of the Oakland Raiders.
This is the Summerall.
As they entertain
here.
The Dallas Cowboys.
This is Summerall. This is the game of the week, baby.
And I'll tell you,
this is my favorite Oakland Coliseum pre-Mount Davis. Look at that open side.
Oakland Coliseum. Well, it makes you think that football is...
Pat Summerall in my head was always 87 years old.
When John Madden, my colleague, got here, he got a special welcome.
We want John! We want John! We want John! We want John!
You want John? We got John. John, it has to be a special feeling for you to be back.
There's no place I'd rather be today than right here. And, you know, I always felt that this was the greatest place to play football in the United States. I thought we had some of the best games here.
Here's what ages me. I only remember Warren Moon on the Vikings on. I really don't remember Houston Oilers, Warren Moon. Like, I started watching football in 1995 without my parents' help, but I don't really remember hearing about the Houston Oilers. I remember the Tennessee Oilers from 96 and on.
And he has a bad left shoulder, and when I was just watching him, it looks...
Look at Hostetler. Huh? Yeah, so the Tennessee Titans, I'm explaining this to Larry, I'll open her fucking tertiary mic so she can react to this. So the Tennessee Titans used to be the Tennessee Oilers, and they were the Houston Oilers, which was the Houston football team for decades. They were like a fixture, and Warren Moon played for them. And then they played in the Astrodome, and they wanted to get a new stadium built, and Houston was like, fuck that shit. So they moved to Memphis, and they floundered out. So they moved to Memphis and were the Tennessee Oilers. And then they were waiting for a stadium to get built, and they moved to Nashville and became the Tennessee Titans and made the playoffs the first year they were the Titans. And now people have just forgotten about the Oilers. But the Oilers were like a huge fixture in the NFL.
I was going to say, when did they stop being?
1995. This was the last year they were the Oilers.
That explains why I don't remember.
Yeah, I barely do. I really only remember the Tennessee Oilers. And thinking it was weird, like, what the fuck does oil have to do with Tennessee? And then my dad would be like, oh, they were the Houston Oilers. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's always been the Houston Texans.
Yeah. He said 2 boys take baby steps towards manhood, building their 1998 Tampa Bay franchise. Oh yeah, talking about the slap. It ended up being a good trade too. We got good players, and he made fun of me because we ended up winning the Super Bowl.
Ismail.
I love a good team that's been going for decades.
Bonio for the Cowboys. Let's look at the Oakland offense.
Look at Hostetler looking like fucking Dave Wanstead. What other teams are like that? The Chiefs were the Dallas Texans. And then the Cowboys paid the Dallas Texans to move to Kansas City. They paid for their relocation fee because they were like, there can only be one team in Dallas. What else? The fucking Rams started out in Cleveland and then moved to LA in 1946 and then moved to Anaheim and then moved to St. Louis and then moved back to Los Angeles. Yeah, the Jazz were originally in New Orleans. That's why they're the Utah Jazz, because they were the New Orleans Jazz. I love that shit. But I also respect the ones that stayed, the Packers, the Bears. Oh, well, the Bears were the Decatur Staleys. They played in bumfuck Decatur. Can you imagine if they stayed in Decatur? I had some neighbors in an apartment building that were from Decatur, and it blew my mind because it was Illinois, and they were so hillbilly, like literal rednecks. Literal rednecks, red face. They had southern accents. We're from Decatur. They had a mom with just one of those weird hillbilly foots that's just like always injured, and she's in a wheelchair, but she's fully capable. Arizona Cardinals started in Chicago. Yeah, they were the Chicago Cardinals. They're like they're as old as the Bears. It was like I always forget about that. Chicago Cardinals, then they became Card Pit during World War II because both teams had players fighting in the war, so they had to combine their teams. Then they went to St. Louis and were the St. Louis Cardinals with the baseball Cardinals throughout the 80s. Then they moved to Arizona. But yeah, they got a hard lineage. The Cardinals, Giants, and Bears are the definition of old white ownership. They're holding so many people of color back. The only reason Jay-Z can't own a team is because of the Maras, the McCaskies, and whoever the fuck owns the Cardinals. Those are like the OG white privilege, we own slaves NFL owners.
And Hostetler back to throw it. Across the middle, Tim Brown. Cut down again. Around.
Yeah, I think they were the Chicago Cardinals through the 60s. It was a while. At least into the 50s. I mean, I could look it up.
Against Tim Brown. Now, what he's doing is he is playing to the strong side. He is taking the outside receiver that's on the same side as the tight end. And in the play so far, that has been Rocket Ismail.
And again, a welcome to the...
I love how before fucking Frank Caliendo, we all thought fucking John Madden was like giving us amazing fucking insight. Okay, so here we go. They were the Racine Cardinals from 1920 to 21, Chicago Cardinals from 22 to 43, 45 to 59, and then in 44 they were Card Pit. They were the St. Louis Cardinals from 1960 until 87, then they were the Phoenix Cardinals from 88 into 93, and then they were the Arizona Cardinals. See, I don't remember the Phoenix Cardinals. I do remember the Arizona Cardinals. I remember Jake Plummer, and I remember the Super Bowl being in Arizona.
Left hand in there and knocked the ball away.
Well, of course, they came under all kind of heat, particularly in Dallas last week after the 49er game, for not being willing to adjust their coverage.
Yeah, Dallas was always the Cowboys. Oh, the Raiders were always bouncing between Oakland and LA until they went to Vegas.
Bruce Pickens from behind.
It really is. They should just be the Raiders and just pillage different cities. Just go into different small markets.
For their first offense.
And, save the country. Oh, that's fucking fat face mask Troy Aikman.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dockers Flat Front Khakis, proud makers of nice pants.
Flat front khakis. Let's see what else we got here. Saved a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah, we got a Bulls highlights from November 17th, 95.
Jordan over Childs.
This was truly my shit. I was really into the Bulls in the 90s.
Two little good bounce.
Look at those Nets jerseys. Those are the fucking Petrovich Nets jerseys.
Jordan, an open look.
Yeah, Ace Hardware legend we were talking about earlier before you jumped on about Ace Hardware.
But the penetration set it up the pinch. And right there, the 4 inches.
Chicago.
Man, it blows my mind that he was old because I thought Jordan was like in his fucking prime in 95. It really, in hindsight, pisses me off that I like came in at the later end of Jordan because I do talk like, fuck yeah, I remember Jordan. But I remember old Jordan.
Here it goes real high, but the Bulls will
Yeah, like I don't even really remember the first three-peat, which was 90 through 93. I remember like the John Paxson shot vaguely against the Suns, but my memory starts when Jordan came back. Like I remember it very vividly being a huge deal that he was coming back to basketball because the Bulls had been swept by the Orlando Magic in the playoffs. And then the next year they swept the shit out of them. That was the 72-10 team. But this is the year, I think Jordan's 45. Jordan should be number 45 in this. Or maybe, no, that was the tail end of 94. So he comes in late 94 and they still get beat. Look at Scotty.
Great defense. He'll get it back again.
Running off the push down the lane.
I used to run the game
Hell yeah.
because it was like so motivating.
Dude, he was banging fucking buckets. So check this out, chat. Basketball, for some basketball gossip. Michael Jordan's son is now dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, and you know he did that on his dad's command. He's got a big beard. He looks like fucking Denzel Washington's son.
Without testing.
Not a good sign.
No, he's just fucking Michael. He went to the University of Illinois, but I don't think he was ever good enough to get drafted.
Pippen roaming baseline.
All that action.
Williams against Cappy.
He's getting good looks, isn't he?
Now they're taking the most heat.
Thanks very much, Jerry. And Bill, back to you.
Thanks very much.
Look at that. Some of those Bulls games got boring because it was just so. Now we're going a little back into October. Week 7, week 15. Look at that Wani stash. I think this is the closest to November this game.
Lloyd gaining.
Look at those fucking NBC jackets. The loud, puffy starter jacket really was at its pinnacle in 1995. My school adopted school uniforms because I guess one year so many kids were getting jumped for their starter jackets that they were just like, fuck it, everyone has to wear the same clothes. But then and then they banned starter jackets. Like you couldn't wear sports logo jackets at my school. Look at Kevin Green. Just an un-CT'd brain being corrupted by the wrestling business.
We welcome those of you.
The young chin of Cower.
Bengals and the Raiders prevailing 20-17, and those of you who have seen the Cleveland Baltimore Browns.
Baltimore. Yeah, they were going.
Along with the news that apparently the deal's been done, Cleveland will be going on to Baltimore. One set against Cower, two natives from Pittsburgh.
Who's that, Bobby Ingram receiving?
Steelers down to the 20-yard line as the Bears wrestle for it, and Robert Green returns.
Let's see Rashaan Salam take the ball here.
On comes Eric Kramer, 18 touchdown passes, only 4 interceptions, and only sacked 4 times. And
she looks smitten with him. I mean, you know he's throwing some enthusiastic love in her way. Scotty was all grumpy and jaded because of the documentary. She's like, I'm fucking done with you.
Have been outstanding.
Look at
outside
that.
And
Look at that lineup. Eric Kramer, Rashaan.
Green comes in as well as Michael Timpson, the former Patriot, in the 3 wide.
Eric Kramer was my quarterback, dude. Look at those numbers. 18-4.
And the gain of about 10 as he hits Conway with 30 catches this year.
So what are we thinking about the NFL this week? What's the big matchups? Let's go to Twitter and see what the... Might as well do some fucking gabbing about the games here. NFL games. So yeah, Bears Falcons. I do think that the Bears could beat the Falcons. You know, the Lions, even though they're bad, do have a high-powered offense. They just don't have a good defense. The Falcons, on the other hand, can't score very much. I know because I have their receiver and tight end in fantasy, and they aren't doing shit. You goddamn right, rest in peace, Rashaan Salam. Didn't he play in the XFL? He was like the MVP of the XFL.
Is make Eric Kramer hesitate a little. The defense did it right there. That's why they got the pressure.
Eagles Colts, I think the Saturday Magic's gonna fucking end here, and the Eagles are gonna fucking roll over the Colts. Jets and Patriots, I don't know, but I'm just loving that fucking Fields has ended up the best of that class. Lions, Giants, obviously. Cordell Patterson revenge game. Wouldn't that be the fucking... That would be something if it ends up being Patterson's fucking coming out party. Bengals Steelers got that fucking the rubber game from that fucking first game of the season. That ended up being that was an all-timer. Until that Bills Vikings game, I think the first Bengals Steelers week 1 matchup was like the best game of the season, and especially because there were so many week 1 duds. You had the rainy Bears 49ers game. I think Baker's starting in this one. You got Baker versus Lamar here. Are they going to go gun for gun, leg for arm?
14 on the play and a first down into Pittsburgh's territory at the 45.
But that's that. I think we're running on empty here. I think I'm going to call it a show.
In that Pittsburgh zone, a good job of throwing the ball to the inside shoulder, away
queued
from the
up.
defender for the big first down. At the Steeler 45. Salam hit in the backfield. Again, 2 men can't bring him down. And finally, knifed down by number 40, Myron Bell. Appeared to be 2 men.
Man, look at that. I had so much hope. When I was a kid, it didn't even hit me that it just wasn't as important to me yet. Like, I remember being like, why do people care that the Bears are bad? Like, it's just fun to watch. I would say 2001 when they got when your first team that is like really good, that's when they lock you in. The 13-3 2001 Bears captured my heart, and I've been a fucking moron ever since. Thanks for listening, watching. Twitch.tv/This is Keith Paesel. This will be up on YouTube and all the podcasting platforms after this. I'll see you either on Saturday or next Thursday. I love you. We'll see ya.
We announce we are off the air when we are off the air.